Welcome to Brown Girls Can, the podcast where black and brown brilliance meets real talk. This podcast is your safe space to be seen, heard, and of course, celebrated. I'm your host, Shateria, the founder and visionary behind the Brown Girls Can brand and movement. Every podcast episode, we're gonna laugh loud and dive deep into the stories, careers, and bold dreams of women who are redefining what's possible. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to another episode of Brown Girls Can, the podcast. I am your host, Shateria, and I'm joined by one of my favorite people. Tell the people who you are.
I am Tresha, Miss LOL Rutledge.
Yay! Clap it up, clap it up. Thank you for coming.
I am honored to be here.
Yes.
You are just, you're amazing.
Oh.
You know, I've adored you ever since, I go way back with
Way
you.
back.
Way back when you and I have adored you ever since you were a little girl. Because you was always so respectful, so beautiful,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
nice, so kind. And I knew back then, just looking at you, that you was going to be somebody.
Oh.
It was just all over you. You didn't have a choice.
I don't have a choice.
No, you didn't have a choice. You just going to be somebody. You were destined to be who you are. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I know your mother is up there on them clouds, just clapping and turning
I
flips
hope so.
and high-fiving the Lord. And yeah, she up there just happy. If she could pop some champagne in heaven, she'd do it.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
sit on the front porch and have a little drink with the Lords.
So as y'all can see, this episode, we are going to laugh out loud because we are here with Miss LOL. We do sip on this podcast, so I always ask the guests what their preference is, and she said Moscato, so we have some Moscato here. So we're going to take a toast. We're going to cheers.
This is a clear communion.
In our Brown Girls Can glasses. Cheers to a good episode.
Oh, girl, now that's good. Where you done got that from?
I'll tell you the secret.
Okay.
I'll tell you
That is nice.
That's my favorite.
I
Somebody
like
say
that.
Moscato.
That's nice.
It tastes
right
like
there.
juice. So it sneak up on you a little
It tastes
bit.
like good. Yeah. That's nice. I sure appreciate that right there.
You're welcome.
Woo.
All right. So this episode is called Brown Girls Can Be Funny AF.
Yes. We can do that too.
We can do everything, including be funny. So tell the people, I just want to go back. I know you worked with my grandmother when I was younger. So that is where I knew you from. I knew she was funny just from her personality, but I didn't know she was a comedian when I was little. So growing up now, being an adult, and I'm seeing her with Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes. That's when I started.
Oh my goodness. And I
Yeah.
just saw you posted, you said you're going back to Hollywood?
Yes. And November 2nd, they slated me to come back. I was supposed to do Mother's Day. Because I've already performed there once. And the thing about this place, Laugh Factory Hollywood, there's like a 3 to 5 year waiting list.
Whoa.
And so when I submitted to perform on the show, they bumped me up 3 years.
Wow.
Like I submitted and they put me in to perform the next year. So I was just like, what? Because so many people have been trying to get on that show. Because all of the legends have performed at Laugh Factory Hollywood.
Oh my
in
goodness.
LA. Yeah, so when they bumped me up, I was like, wow. And so it was crazy how it happened because when I was supposed to perform the first time, what happened was you were supposed to respond to them and let them know. And
You didn't respond.
what had happened? Yeah. And then when I realized that I did not respond, I was like, oh my God. I didn't respond to them. I missed my opportunity. So I emailed the people and I told them, I said, look, I am so sorry. I did not respond. I did not know I was supposed to respond. Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. She said, no worries. And they gave me another date just like that.
Whoa.
Within like a month or so from the date I was supposed to perform.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just, yeah, that blew me because I'm like, people are waiting to get in here.
Right.
I missed my date, and they gave me another one just like that. And I'm like, wow. So I was like, okay. And so I went and I performed, and it was good. It was good. And then before I got back to my son's house, because he lives in Fresno, California, and we drove 2 hours to LA to do it, they had already sent me my next booking. Telling me when they wanted me to come back. They had already seen me. And I was like, wow. And so I was supposed to perform on Mother's Day last year. Yes, March 31st. But due to unforeseen circumstances, I couldn't go. So I sent them a message and I let them know I won't be able to come this time. But, I pray that I'll be able to come and do my graduate performance another time. Mm-hmm. She sent me a date just like that. We'll see you November 2nd, 2025. I said, okay.
Look how the steps are just ordered.
I know. And it's just crazy. So I put that out there, I was like, do y'all think I should go? And everybody just going off on me. You better go. Why not? And all this and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, it's just, it's amazing how my personality just has gotten me, to go to so many places and do so many things, because people always say, it's nice to see you living your dream. I'm like, it's not my dream.
It's not?
No, I never wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be a nurse in the Navy and wear the white uniform.
My grandmama told me, because she came on the podcast, and I asked her what her dream was. And I didn't know she wanted to go into the Air Force.
Yeah, I want to be a nurse because I want to wear that white uniform with them stockings and that little hat, that little dress. Because back then I was built like a Coca-Cola bottle, but now I'm a 3-liter. But I'm a fine 3-liter though. I'll quench your thirst. I'll quench your thirst. But yeah, I had took and wanted to be that, and then that didn't happen for me. And so people said, well, you still a nurse. You just on the stage being a nurse. Yeah. I said, yes, so I guess I got to buy me a white uniform and go on the stage and tell the jokes, because that's what I wanted to do.
How did you start?
Well, it's a funny thing. I started while I was walking with your grandmother at Blue Cross.
You did?
That's how I started. I like I said, my personality is just me. Yes. Just being funny, just being who I am. And your grandmother, she knows Miss Thelma, this lady named Miss Thelma. Back then I was a file clerk, and we used to file together, and I used to make the day go by fast because I'm making jokes, I'm doing stuff. And she would always say, Trisha, this ain't where you need to be. She said, you need to be on somebody's stage telling jokes. I was like, I ain't been to go on no stage, Miss Thelma. That ain't what I want to do. I just like to have fun. And so she would always say that. So one time I was at home and they was having a contest. You tell some jokes and you can get chosen to open for Cedric the Entertainer. So Keith Landeck and them came on or whatever, and they asked for somebody to call in and tell some jokes. I called in, told some jokes. Then they called me and they told me that I won. But it was so crazy though, because it was some friends leaving my house and the commercial came on as they were leaving. I said, I'm open for Cedric. Watch. I said, watch, I'm open today. She was like, you need to. I was like, you watch to see. I bet I open for Cedric, but I'm just playing. I wasn't being serious. I was just kidding. They walked out the door. I said, you know what? I'm going to call the number. I done had me a couple of cups of this communion. I said, I'm going to call the number. So I called down there. I talked to them on the phone. They put my name in the bucket. I gave them a couple of jokes. And then I think it was the next day when Keith Landecker called me and told me that I'm opening for Sid. I was like, you for real? He was like, yeah. I said, I had just took and told my friends that I was going to do this. And I spoke it into existence. I spoke this life into existence.
That's what I really, this podcast, I want people to understand that your words are so powerful. Yes. And people do not realize, even just joking.
Yeah.
You speak your life path.
The power of life and death lies in it.
Yes.
And it did. And I mean, I don't regret speaking it, because it's been many of days that this kept a roof over my children's head.
Yeah.
It has fed them. You know, I didn't know where some money was coming from to pay a bill, and somebody will call me and say, "We need you to come do this show." So I said, "I'm ready." And that yeah. So it's been a blessing to be able to use my personality to bless people. You know, when in high school, I was voted most wittiest, you know, and during the 12th grade or whatever. And so I never thought that being voted that I just like to see people happy. I love to see people laugh, you know. I never wanted I never did it for fame or fortune.
Right.
I've never have. And, you know, but by the grace of God that I've been able to, you know, to meet a lot of people and open for certain people. But I've always did it because I like to see people smile. I want to see people happy.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I've always done it. You know, I ain't always had a happy life. And I ain't always been able to smile all the time. But if I can bring a smile out of somebody else, it brings me joy.
Is it true that comedians tell jokes to hide pain?
Yes, yes, it is. We do a lot. We sometimes the stage is our therapy. It's our therapy. I can talk about things, you know, like I make jokes about my sister, you know, being a schizophrenic and her passing and everything, and you know what I'm saying. I never have really just got to grieve over her because I had to be the strong one. She left 5 kids behind. If I cry and break down, they cry and break down. So now I'm auntie mama.
Yeah.
So, you know, I never really just sat and grieved over her like I have, but I can take the stage and talk about her and talk about the things she would do, and that helps to heal me. Yeah. By doing that. Talking about my mama, because my mama's passed as well. Talk about the things she used to say and do, that helps to heal me. You know, so it's therapy. It is. It's therapy for a lot of things. But sometimes they can be dangerous.
Yes.
It can be dangerous because we're humans, and you know, you laugh at your pain like Kevin Hart says, but sometimes you need somebody to be there, because as a comedian, people always want you to be the funny person in the room.
Yeah.
Everybody wants you to be the life of the party.
Yes. I talked to a guy.
Yeah.
And he was a comedian, and he was like, anytime the room needs a joke, everybody will look at him, and he's like, I don't feel like it.
Exactly.
I don't want to be a comedian right now.
One of my fellow comedians, he put out there the other day, not too long ago, what are 3 things that you hate for people to walk up and say to you being a comedian? And one of the things is, tell me a joke. Oh my God. I'm like,
I can imagine.
I mean, once they come to a show.
Right, pay me.
I don't feel like telling jokes.
That is so
I'm in the
true.
grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Leave me alone. I'm trying to get me some meat. I'm over here getting some, trying to eat. You hear somebody tell you a joke? No. You know, all the time. And then the second question is, are you funny?
People ask you that?
Yes.
Wow.
How long you been? Well, are you funny? I've been doing it 24 years. I might be something. I mean,
somebody
come on.
Gonna laugh.
They paying me not to be funny? I mean, come on now.
That's so funny.
And I mean, it's just so hard. And another thing is, people don't understand. A lot of people don't think about it, but being a woman, being black, and being a comedian.
How is that?
Oh, it's hard.
You know what I saw?
Yeah.
What was I watching?
Yeah.
B. Lynn, she's a YouTuber, and she does skits and stuff. And she opened, I think, Kelly in Atlanta. Kelly J. Is that her name?
Kelly J. Oh, Kelly Kells.
Kelly Kells.
Kelly Kells. Yeah.
Kelly Kells had a show at a comedy club, and she told Brittany B. Lynn to come and open for her. And she was telling B. Lynn, she was like, being a woman comedian, they just had a conversation, and I thought it was interesting. She was like, we have to all stick together, because this fight is so, first of all, just being a black person, then adding a comedian, then adding the woman part, you know, She was like, I get undercut at clubs,
Yep.
this, that, and the third. She said, I don't
Yep.
get the pay that I deserve. She was like, but we're changing the game with that. So can you talk a little bit about that struggle or that challenge being a Black woman comedian?
Yeah, it's hard, and I will say that a lot of times I find that the men comedians will give me a chance more than the other women comedian would.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember one time I had a show here in Chattanooga, but I had to travel to Atlanta to do a show. We had already spoken with the lady, with the comedian. She's a big comedian now. She got a lot of stuff going on. I won't say her name though. And we told her that, we're running late, we'll be there. But she had 2 shows that night, 2 shows. So I could have opened for the first one or the second one. When we got there and the first one was ending. And so, we was like, well, can you at least, just give her 5 minutes on the second one? She wouldn't let me on the stage. She was like, no, she's supposed to be here at the first one. She can't go on my stage.
Wow. Woo.
And I was like, at the time I had a manager, and she was like, well, I told you that we was coming from Chattanooga because she already had a show. So we drove 2 hours down there, 2.5 hours down there to do it, and she wouldn't give me, but we was communicating her, but when I got there, she told me no. So I'm like, okay.
What is that with women?
I don't know. I don't understand that. But, most male comedians, if I'm somewhere, I will say, I remember one time I went to go see Rodney Perry. Rodney Perry has been like a mentor to me for a long time. He's always been a wealth of knowledge. He'll pour into you. I love that about him, and I don't think he get his he doesn't get his accolades the way he should.
Yeah, because
he has done so much. I mean, it's not a time you can cut on the TV and in one of them stations, Rodney Perry gonna be
on something.
He gonna be on something. He's done movies with Eddie Murphy and a lot of people. But I just remember he was doing a show down here at the Comedy Catch, and I went to see him, and so I walked up and gave him a hug or whatever. He said, you gonna do some time? I said, no, I just came to see. He said, hey, give us some time and put me on the stage. And I'm like, okay, I can't say no.
I guess I'm doing it.
I guess I'm doing it. Yeah. And I got to open for him for his birthday down in Atlanta. And I've done several Mocha, they put me on the show with him down there before. And he's just a real kind guy. And when I met him at Mocha, he told me to take his number and put it in his phone. If you have any questions, anything, you call me. And today, if I needed anything, I could call him and he will talk to me and give me advice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy.
Everybody needs somebody like that, especially in the field that you endeavoring to go in. It's so needed.
Yeah,
and people don't understand that having a mentor is life changing because they keep you from going down past that they already went down that you don't have to go down.
Yeah,
so that's great.
Yeah, being able to, just offering advice, and that's what I try to do now. I've been in the game for 24 years. So, any advice I can give to any comedians or anything, if any path that I have walked and they want advice about it, I'm welcome to give it. I offer it, you know what I'm saying? I often give my platform to people, you know what I'm saying? Because I have over 300,000 followers. So if I can help up, do your business, I go to restaurants and eat their food and make videos for them, and you know what I'm saying? And like anything you put out there, I share for you.
Yes.
Because I just love what you do, and I try to, uplift people and do what I can with what I got, because I want to see everybody win.
Yeah.
Everybody win. There's enough winning out here for everybody. Woo. Everybody can bite off a piece of the win.
But everybody don't understand that.
They don't.
I be hating to go down this road on podcasts, but we sometimes live in a crabs in a barrel city.
That's it.
And it don't have to be like that.
It
like
doesn't.
Everybody can win. Everybody can be their authentic self and win and be successful.
Yeah. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's all you have to do. But, being a woman, like I said, it's hard. I remember I did a show years ago at the Tropicana out here. And I was the feature. I came on before the headliner. But this other guy who was there, he when he found out he didn't even know who I was, but I walked in and heard him speaking bad about me. He was like, I know I'm funnier than her. I know good and well y'all ain't putting her on before me. I need to be the feature, blah, 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 whatever.
I thought it was the other. I thought when you funnier, you go after. Ain't that right? The last person.
The headliner. So the feature is before the headliner.
Got
so you have somebody who opens, you have somebody who's the feature, and then you have the headliner.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And sometimes you might have two people that open, then you have the feature, then you have the headliner. Well, they put me as the feature to open before the headliner, but he said, she a woman, I know I'm funnier than her. Y'all got to put me before her, blah, blah, blah. I mean, put me after her. Why she got to go before me, And so the guy who was doing it, he came to me. He was like, man, he's fussing. Can we move you? I said, no, I'm not moving. I'm staying right where you put me. Right. My folks don't get off work till a certain time. They told me what time they were going to show up. And I told her what time I was going to say, I'm not moving. I don't care what he say. You can do whatever. I'm staying in my slot. He was like, all right. So he went on before me. He got up there on that stage and he bummed. They booed him off the stage. Booed him.
That's so funny because I the only thing that happens in movies.
Oh, no. It happened at the Tropicana. Yeah. So then he gets up. I get up there. And you know me. I do me. I do me. So I done dropped the mic on him. Because I did me. But while I was on stage performing, he walks up to me and hand me a note while I'm on the stage. In the middle of my set. So I opened it and read it. And it said, I'm sorry. I apologize. I could never have done what you are doing now.
Ooh.
In the middle of my set. So, you know me, I made a joke out of it. I said, and he was a white boy. I told you once you go black, you never go back, boy. I told you. Now you done learned your lesson in public. Don't do me, because you'll get dead. That's all I'm saying.
But the audacity of certain people.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. It's been I've had more good days being a comedian for 24 years than I had bad days, but it's been some rough ones.
Yeah.
Where people just doubt you, and excuse me, mind you, my style of comedy is different. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be funny to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be funny. And if you don't think I'm funny, that's fine. My check don't change at the end of the day.
That's right.
What I quoted is what they gonna put on that check. So I mean, I'm sorry if I can't make you less, but even some times that I've been in the audience, I mean, the audience sit out there, you'll find somebody sit and look at you the whole time and stare at you and won't crack a smile the entire time you're on the stage, and that's my goal. I said, I'm gonna make that person laugh before I get off this stage.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna crack a smile? You gonna smirk or something? Pass gas, blink your eyes. So you gonna do something before you gonna move out that seat. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
how do you come up with your material?
It is most of my material is life. It's life. It's really life. And being a single parent of 5 boys, 2 sets of twins.
Woo.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing but material. that material right there, that material make itself. Yeah. So, being with them, and then I don't know. It's just crazy. I remember Steve Harvey said, whatever is so easy for you to do without any effort, that's your talent.
Yeah.
And me, I can just be around somewhere and see something. And it goes. A lot of my stuff that I came up with, that I still tell to this day, I came up with it while I was on stage.
Like improv?
I just came up with it when I was on stage. It just comes to me, and I just do it. And if they laugh at it, I keep using it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, a bunch of it. I never wrote anything down. I've never sat down and wrote jokes. Never. Until I done got older and I have to write it down, because if I don't, I'm going to forget it. Yeah. So, but I've never written jokes. So people say they sit down and write. I never did that. And people say, have you ever thought about writing jokes for other people? I said, I don't, because I don't even write jokes for me.
Right.
I mean,
How can I do it for somebody else?
yeah, you know, it just come and like it's been so funny. Some people say, I remember when you said this joke about some. I was like, I don't remember it.
That's so funny.
Because I said it while I thought of it while I was up there, and it's gone now. you know.
So how do you remember if they laugh?
Some stuff. Well, some stuff that I like. Some jokes that I've been telling forever is like my joke about my kids, me having 5 boys, 2 sets of twins, and anytime you can take the amount of children divided by 2 and have a remainder, that's a whole bunch of children. that one sticks to people. My 30-day diet joke, you know, I've been on the diet for 30 days. I ain't lost but 29 days. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? That stuff it sticks because those are like depends on where you are and what kind of crowd you're in front of. You can't tell stories. You just gotta have some gut punchers. Cause you know you lose us black people. Yeah. They want you to make them laugh so hard until they like almost in a coma. They be like, I done paid $10 for this ticket. I better get 10 laughs soon as I sit down. That's how they be. They be want all
out the gate.
Yeah, $10 for the ticket, and they finna clown. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just something I do, something I love, and I just bring it. And a lot of times too, when I do like family reunions and birthday parties and stuff like that, I ask the people. I say, well, if you have certain people in the audience or certain people in your family that do crazy stuff, and you want me to make fun of them, send me a list and the stuff they do. Then I make jokes off of that.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
Yeah. So I try to do that. I try to make it personal and try to make it fun, and they love that. You know,
yes.
I do that at past anniversaries too, because you know it's always somebody in the church that do something. You know,
something.
Sister Ella always.
Church is probably the funniest,
place. Yes. So they always send something. Yeah. You know, Sister Ella always the one pass out the peppermint at the bottom of her purse that tastes like keys and perfume, but she be wanting you to eat that. And you be about to die in church eating like, I don't even want this.
It's always somebody who breath stink.
Always somebody breath stink. And
that's the one that want to give you a hug.
Yeah, they be want to whisper to you. Them people who breath stink, I always want to whisper, don't get close. That's why I keep a sticky note in my heel. Write it down. Don't say nothing. I already had my eyebrows arched. Don't come over here with that. This is getting on my nerves. Don't do that. That is just disrespectful.
Oh my goodness.
You know you can't do that. There's always a grandmama in there who's 74 but thinks she's 22.
Yeah.
Want to wear a blue wig and all them little gray naps hanging out the back of her neck. And I thought it was a spider on her neck. I done hit the back of her neck. A wig flew off. They done put me out to church. I said, I'm not coming back over here no way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's funny things that happen everywhere that you can kind of like take and make jokes about. Why are you still in Chattanooga? What keeps you in Chattanooga?
Well, I was supposed to leave Chattanooga. I was on my way to Huntsville. I was going to move to Huntsville in 2018. I had already looked at a house and, you know, looked in jobs and all of this type of stuff. But my sister died. And when my sister died, I took in her son. She had 2 older kids that were already grown, then her son, and then my sister was a twin. And so my brother took the youngest 2.
Okay.
And they live in Atlanta with him. So I took the son, the middle child, and raised him up until he graduated high school, whatever. Then after that, I stayed here. You know what I'm saying? My mind and my heart have been wanting to go explore and go to different cities. But you know, I love still doing comedy and I love what I do, but I'm not actually reaching for the stars like I was before.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. But I'll be 50 next year.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, you know, I just want to really just, I mean, I love to do it, but to me it's like, I don't want to say a side, like a side hustle now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When did that change?
Yeah.
When did it switch from reaching for the stars to a hobby?
All the traveling is a lot for me now. I don't like all the flying, the airplanes.
I can't stand airports.
That's what I'm saying. I can't.
They
I
give
can't,
me so much
yeah,
anxiety.
Yes, and some of those times it's like a whole day of travel, and then you still and all that. I'd rather drive anywhere than to get on a plane. But you know all that, and then I've met some people in Hollywood that are not as nice.
Yeah, I hear that a lot about Hollywood.
Yeah, they not as nice. They not as nice, and I'd rather give my joy, my time, my effort to people who are depressed, who are, you know what I'm saying, can relate to my struggle, and I can uplift them. You know what I'm saying? People in Hollywood, they got money. They ain't thinking about the stuff that I'm giving them,
right?
Because none of that ain't an issue to them no more. But when I can go in front of a crowd and make somebody laugh until tears come out of their eyes, and then they come up to me after the show and say thank you. I understand. I was right there with you, with kids and having to pay bills and being on EBT and all of that stuff. And they say I haven't laughed in a long time. Or some of them say it's very hard to make me laugh, but you made me almost pee on myself. You know what I'm saying? That right there is a blessing to me. Yeah. When I can bless somebody like that. During COVID, I got an inbox, and I hate to start talking about this because I always bring tears to my eyes. But I got an inbox from a guy, and he said, "You saved my life." He said, "I was contemplating suicide until I came across one of your videos." And he said, "I didn't kill myself because you made me laugh." He said, "I'm alive because of you."
Wow.
That's bigger than Hollywood.
That's purpose.
Yeah.
That is purpose.
Yeah.
That's the why.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, when you are thinking about starting a business or thinking about following a passion, make sure you got your why on lock.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people your why is going to far outlive how much.
Yeah.
It's going to outlive a check every single time. Because those sleepless nights, those early mornings, that blood, sweat, and tears, all of that goes into it as sacrifice, but it's the why that keeps you going. And that is so touching.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I just got these lashes, and I need them for Sunday, so I got to.
I be keeping mine. They got their own little case.
Well, I get individual. See, I can't put them on.
You can't?
Girl, if I try to put them lashes on, they'll be looking like an X.
I'm a pro. I can put them on in my sleep.
And they look good, girl. They look. But see, I can't. I have to go up there and get them individuals that last me about 2 weeks and stuff. I can't do that right there.
See, and they irritate I can't sleep in them, so that's why I have to.
Oh, for real. Now, they don't bother me. I don't. Once I get them on, they good. But, girl, no. I can't put them on like that no every day, girl. Y'all sharp. I can't. Y'all people who can do that right there, y'all got some special powers or something. Because, girl.
I put some on. About 5 minutes.
Yeah. They look good. You did good, girl.
Thank you.
That might be another one of your hustles. You need to go. You got about 17.
I do.
You ain't nothing but a little Jamaican.
I am. I got some in my blood somewhere.
I know, just got some everything.
In the bloodline, it's somewhere.
I know what you know what they say the same thing about me though, because every time you turn around, I'm doing something. I just graduated from another entrepreneurship class. What? Yes, I am excited, and I'm about to drop my lipstick line.
Okay, tell us about it.
And it is called Blessed Lips. And I've been holding on to it for so long. But Blessed Lip is going to be so different from other lipsticks because it's going to make you look good and inspire you as well. So, ever since I've been started to wear makeup, I've never wore one color. I've always mixed them. So in all of my videos, everybody always say, "Girl, what color lipstick you got on? What color lipstick on?" And I could never tell them because I don't know. I just mix them. I just find two and I mix them. So I said, that's what I want to do. But the names of my lipsticks is what's unique about them and the special blending of them. So if you put on the color Grace and the color Mercy, then you make the color Forever.
Oh.
So Grace and Mercy last forever.
Come
if you
on.
put on the color Classy and Dazzling, you make the color Beautiful.
All right.
Yeah. If you put on the color, what is my other two? It's several of them, but that's how, my lipsticks are. That's how I'm formulated it.
Well, how can we get it?
Well, right now I'm dealing with a manufacturer to get them done, but you can also go to my website, blessedlips.com, BLESSITLIPS.com, and just tell me what colors you like, because that's what I'm doing before I roll out the first colors, to see what colors people are liking, and the most popular ones, that's the colors that I'm gonna make when I roll it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all go to blessedlips.com. Put in your requests for your colors, and then be ready to order as soon as they get on the website.
Yep. So
that's so exciting.
Yeah. So I did that, and I also still have my website where I sell my shirts. And I had colognes, and I had oils and perfumes and incense. But my distributor, they got family things going on, so I have to get me another one. But once I get those back out there as well, because I had started that with COVID as well, honey. When COVID started, I jumped too. Hey, baby, because it was cutting off everything. You can't cut out. No, we need. We gotta have something flowing around here. We not about to do this one. So I had everything going out there, but I still have my inspirational T-shirts out there for sale. But that's on my Miss LOL website. Right. So, but so I'm just out here trying to do whatever I can.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to get Miss Trish to do a comedy show. I'm doing a festival in October.
Okay.
The Brown Girls Can Festival.
Okay.
And what it is I'm partnering with Black women-owned businesses, and I'm letting them plan their own event. Just it has to be during that week of the festival.
Okay.
So it can be like umbrella under the festival. So it's kind of like, Maine by 24. They do like different events on that day, and they just say it's part of Maine by 24, but it's really each business gets to do whatever they want.
Okay.
So we gonna talk. I'm trying to
we need to talk. Yeah,
try to get her to do a
get
show.
It together. Yeah, because everybody been asking me when you're gonna do one in Chattanooga. When you gonna do?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And I was gonna go talk to somebody, but I won't talk to them. I'll just do what you do with you. Yeah, I do it with you. Yeah.
So that be on the lookout. I am gonna be starting to promote the festival probably mid-July. So I'm giving everybody enough time to get their details together, and then all I'm asking for is a small percentage of ticket sales. If you sell tickets, some of the entrepreneurs are just doing free events, but if you sell tickets, just a small percentage, and then we're all gonna give that percentage to Girls Inc.
Okay, cool.
We're investing in the next generation of girls. So.
That's awesome. I love to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
just let me know. We'll get together.
I will.
And put it on paper. Put it on paper.
Hey. What is some advice you would give a girl who wants to be a comedian?
You got to have tough skin. Gotta have tough skin. And anybody who gets in this, whether it's a female or a male, whoever it is, you have to do this. It has to be a passion. Mine's turned into a passion because I saw how I uplifted people. But if you are doing comedy for money, you're in the wrong.
That's for anything in this economy.
Yeah. So you just have to make sure you out there. You have to make sure you anytime there's a opportunity for you to get on stage, take it, because that's how you become good at your craft. That's how you become what crowd you have. You know how to work different crowds. Because now I do clean comedy all the time. People say, can you still do dirty comedy? I say, yes, I can, but that's not what I choose to do.
Right.
I just did a show in Gatlinburg. It was 18 plus. I did get a little loose on that one, but it wasn't like how I began. Because when I began, oof, baby,
X-rated.
Hey, yeah. You got to come in with your alcohol, leave with your holy water, so you won't catch a fire. But but things in your life change. You become more mature. Life change. Them kids used to convict me. I come home from shows, they be like, "Mama, tell me a joke." I be like, "Oh, oh, let me think." I said, "Look, just go in there and read a book or something." Then you got the 3 little pigs in there or something. Go on and read a book. Mama can't tell you none of these jokes. You know what I'm saying? And then, I would get paid, but then I have to pay the babysitter all my money. In the worldly, in the worldly joke. Them Christians, they pay a little better. They pay a little bit more money, yeah. They pay a little. They don't know if they giving me their time money or what they giving me, but I appreciate y'all Christians for hiring me and let me tell jokes in your church and give me that little change. I appreciate you giving me your tithes and offering. So yeah. So when I start telling jokes, for the Lord, I can take my kids with me and keep my money. You know what I'm saying? So that worked out better. So, but anybody out there, like I said, you out here, you want to do this. If you have a passion to do it, this ain't gonna be your 24-hour job. I mean, your 9-to-5 job just yet. You got to work on your craft. You just keep. Realize what jokes just really hit. Get you a good little set together. You can take that set. That's one set from state to state. You see what I'm saying? Jokes that I've been telling here in Chattanooga for years. People like, we don't heard them. Of course, we in Chattanooga,
right?
But I can take that set and I can go, around the different places.
How do you set up tours?
Well,
do you do it on your own?
Yeah, most of the time. Right before I was about to do one, right before my sister died, we was setting up one to go do it. But yeah, I had a manager at the time. Now, I'm managing myself again because she had to, go take care of her mother or whatever. But you just contact different states. You know what I'm saying? Like me, on my TikTok, what I did was I asked, who would want Miss LOL come to your state. I looked at the people, the different states who, said they wanted me to come. You see the locations, and you know what I'm saying. You contact the people. You find out, the local comedy clubs there. Is there availability? Find out what the compensation is. Y'all negotiate, do whatever, and then you just, put your dates together and hit the road.
I love that.
Yeah, put the dates together and hit the road. Yeah, so. Most of the time, the stuff that I do, it becomes back to back. People they be like, "You been on tour?" I said, "No, I ain't on tour. That's just how my dates been falling. People been calling and asking me to do shows, and they're falling back to back to back. And it looks like I'm on tour, but no, that's what God put on my agenda. Yeah. That's what I was doing. Man. So, yeah. So it's just amazing, and that's what I do now. Because I work for the school, and then I work a second job at this place called Serenity House, where I get to pour into young women who are in need of just being poured into. And then I do my comedy and my entrepreneur things when I can, and of course I'm, on the velvet chair with Karen. Yeah. And yeah, so whenever people call me, that's when I go. I used to just reach and, find gigs and go or whatever. God has been placing people in my path for me to go.
That's amazing.
And that's what I do.
How did you get your following to be what it is? Just post the videos?
Yeah, I just did videos. Well, it was so funny. I was working at a high school, and the kids were saying, "Miss Rutledge, do you have a TikTok?" I was like, "No, I ain't got no TikTok. What is that?" And they kept asking me, "You got this? You got this?" I was like, "No." And it's just so funny how stuff hit, and then it catches on. It just grabs different things. Yeah. So then from there, my following grew from there, and then it grew on Instagram. A fellow comedian, he took one of my videos and he did a voiceover with it, and that one hit, and it grew my Instagram, and then other videos that I did. So it just grows on its own, and people sharing your stuff. And then anytime you post things, I try to tell people, you got to watch and see. If you see all the celebrities when they post things, they always do hashtag everything. There's so many hashtags on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what draw people to your pages. You just hashtag just stuff that's related to whatever you put in the video or something, and it grows. And so that's what I try to do. And I just try to do videos that are uplifting and funny at the same time.
Because that's what we need.
That's what we need. I just saw somebody yesterday because I know you saw my page while I was in the hospital for 2 days. About a week ago.
Yes, I looked up. I said, now.
I know everybody's like, what? How she get in the hospital? Just because I tell jokes, that don't mean I can't get sick. We get sick too. People who tell jokes.
She doing in the damn hospital.
Yeah, them people done gave me too much medicine, girl, and then ran my sugar up to 507, so I had to get a prescription for a prescription. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy, but he set me down for a while, but I saw somebody down at the festival that we just had, and they was like, you better stay better. You better stay better because you got to make us laugh. I said, okay. You ain't got to run up on me like that. So when you hear stuff like that, it touches you, And I just want to, I thank everybody who walked up to me and told me, I've been praying for you. I've been praying for you. I've been praying for you. And it's so crazy because it's people who know my name and I don't even know theirs.
Ain't that crazy?
I don't even know theirs, but they praying for me. I don't know who they are. I couldn't tell you who they are, but it's just a blessing for people to know who you are and be praying for you, but you don't know them. And that's just a blessing. And I get that all the time. I go places and people be like, hey, Miss LOL, hey. And I'm like, hey, you know me, I'm going to be happy and loving to everybody I meet. And it's just a blessing, That's why I try to be good everywhere I go because people be watching me.
You can't sneak it.
Yeah, I got to remember. Folk on there, because cameras is everywhere.
They everywhere.
Yeah, they going to have me all in the stove. Stuff I got to be good. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. If you could be in a movie, let me ask this. Who is your Mount Rushmore of comedians? I think Mount Rushmore is 4. But I give you 5, including yourself. So still 4.
I would say Ricky Smiley.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ricky. Ricky, he tells jokes about life. Of course, Cedric the Entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Have you met them both?
I mean, yeah, both of them. Yeah, I actually just talked to him the other day.
Which one?
Ricky.
Okay.
I love Dion Cole.
Was he just on Shannon Sharp? No.
I don't know. But Dion Cole is hilarious.
He is funny.
He is hilarious. I love him. A lot of people don't give him what Dion Cole. And then it's just so many of them. And I would have to say I love Kat and I love Mike Epps too.
I can see that.
Yeah, both of them.
I can see that.
But all of them are just hilarious to me.
I love all of them because they have all paved their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have done it. The thing I love about people when they're in their creative zone or their creative genius is because you can tell that they are paving their own way just being themselves. Exactly. They ain't trying to be like, Ricky Smiley ain't trying to be like Cat Williams, and Cat Williams ain't trying to be like Mike Epps. They all have their own unique style. And so when I talk about being your authentic self, that is what really paves the way for you to be successful.
Exactly.
It's because it's only one you.
Exactly.
So I
mean,
it.
Nothing's more funnier than life itself. When stuff really happen in life,
you'd be like, where are the cameras?
Oh my! I know. It's like I'm being pumped. What is it? Is this for real?
What is really going on?
Yeah, especially in this world right now. Especially what we got going on right now.
Woo.
Right now.
Yeah.
I just looked at a video before I got here where the Costco line is around the corner because they trying to get toilet paper and water. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It is very, very crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's so crazy, and I'm just praying because my son, who I wanted you to be with,
He's trying to set me up.
Yes, he's a National Guard, and I'm praying. I was like, I hope they don't call my child, Lord Jesus. I hope they don't call him.
I know.
Because I heard they was calling National Guard. He said, Mama, if they call me, hit me in the knee with a hammer.
Are all your kids funny?
Yes. They are hilarious. He like, hit me in the knee with a hammer. I'm not going. I said, boy. Yeah,
That's
it's
so
just
funny.
yeah, but it's we gotta be praying.
Yeah.
Because right now, you don't know what we're gonna wake up to.
You don't.
You just don't know what we're gonna wake up to. I don't know. But I want if we wake up to something that's crazy, I want what I want. When I was in the hospital, they gave me one of these little things called a wick or something like that. I couldn't get up and use the bathroom because I was too dizzy because my sugar was too high. So it's this little thing. All I had to do was put it between my legs and just pee.
Like a catheter?
No, it wasn't a catheter. They didn't put nothing in me. You just put it between your legs and then just suck the pee out and you ain't got to get up. It was fun. I was like, do my insurance pay for this? Can I take this home with me? I need this at the house at night. In fact, I want one.
Right, you ain't got to get up.
Look, give me one I can take to happy hour. I want to take this to happy hour. Tell the waitress here, empty that for me.
Oh, my God.
Bring me another margarita. Yeah, I need me one of them if they want to act a fool around here. So when we go underground, I have something good to, or whatever.
Oh, my goodness.
But we got to be ready.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, we got to be ready. And it's I love the fact of what you're doing and you're trying to help other entrepreneurs. I just want to say that. You always try to pour back into other people and help other people with what you learned. And that's a blessing because that's what God gave it to you for.
Yes.
And you are just, you just, if I ever had a daughter, God gave me 5 boys. But if I had ever had a daughter, I wish she would have been just like you.
Oh,
because you are a blessing to everybody. And I ain't never seen a mad or frown. You're always smiling.
I be mad sometimes.
Yeah, but see, I don't want to see that. People like you that's always happy. Y'all people, when you get mad, see, you just like me. The next time I'm always smile happy. I try not to be mad. Yeah. Us is, yeah. It's not good to see us like that. But I'm just so proud of you and everything you're doing. You're out here being a example, and you're giving these young girls somebody to look up to.
I'm trying.
You ain't tried, honey. You done done it. You done done it. You ain't tried. You done did more than that. Every time I see your name, I see your post, I said, look at her. I just feel it all over me.
Listening.
And it radiates through you. And then one day you're going to go out there and that little Mercedes going to be out there that you it's going to be out there.
Speak it.
Yeah, so maybe if you give him my son, and you get together, he might buy you one. He'll buy you one. He might buy you one. You get right. Y'all get together and build an empire, and y'all can buy
Oh,
each
my
other.
goodness.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it in there. I'm speaking it into existence.
But I want to move eventually. He ain't trying to move, is he?
He'll do, you good enough to me. He'll do whatever you want him to do. But you know what he's talking about doing? And this is what he told me when he was on my house the other day. He's trying to go to pilot school. He want to fly planes.
Oh.
He want to fly planes.
Because he's already in national. Well, that's a good.
He want to fly planes. That's what he said he been wanting to
step.
do. Mm-hmm. I said, well, it's good. I'll wave at you while you're up there.
Not you ain't getting on.
You say what? That's why they got them video. That's why they got them video cameras. Where he can show me everything. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So, and I'm just proud of him, because he ain't got nothing to hold him back. Can't nothing hold him back but him. You know what I'm saying? And I love my boys. That's why I got 5 boys that's graduated, baptized, ain't never been to jail. And they ain't got no records to hold them back. That's why I told them, go for what you know. Get on out there.
That's
and be somebody. I try to make them do anything that's gonna help. When they was in school, they were giving free scholarships away to for boys to be a cheerleader in the day. I said, boy, go on out there and get up and do some splits. Get you some free education.
Oh my goodness!
Put them in everything. They did every sport it was. They even did ballet. The one I'm trying to hook you up with, he had on some leotards at Memorial Auditorium. He did the ballet dance up there on the stage. I'm telling you, you got to make sure these children rail rounded. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Put them in everything. They done did every sport it is. They done been in. I put them in it.
Good.
They did everything.
And we need we need mamas to go back to that.
Yeah, they in everything.
Investing and pouring into the kids and letting the kids try everything so that the kids know what they don't like and what they do like.
And when they didn't like it, they got out of it. But most of them, they was in everything. You know, you just got to you have to let kids be kids.
Yeah.
But you have to show them structure. Mm-hmm. And that's what I tried to do, being a single mother of that many. I really, I just had to. But I make sure I kept them in anything that was positive. Mm-hmm. Got to.
Yeah. Are you one of these younger mamas that don't want to babysit?
Oh, no, I want to babysit. I want all the children.
You do?
Yeah, I love the children. Yeah, unfortunately, my grandbabies live out of town. Mm-hmm. And it's a whole nother subject, a whole nother thing with the relationship I have with them right now. But, once kids get grown and make their own families, they make their own decisions, they do their own things, and that's what I got to do. So what I have did with that situation, I gave it to God and took my hands off of it.
That's what we got to do.
And let him do it. So now I'm just over here with you with this podcast and this nice Moscato, ready to talk about this show we going to do. And I'm just enjoying this is nice.
Yes. So, any last word? Oh, last thing. Finish the statement. I am proof that brown girls can...
Okay, say it again.
I am proof that brown girls can blank.
Succeed. You can succeed. You can do anything you want to. Because if you can think it of it, if it becomes a thought in your head,
man,
it can be done. Because the only way it became a thought is that you've seen it done before.
Yeah.
So you take that and you do what you want to do with it, and you put your own uniqueness on it.
I love it.
Yeah. Be and that's why I encourage anybody to just dream big and be yourself. And I'm a person of acronyms. I love acronyms. And a long time ago, I came up with the acronym of Dream Big. And Dream Big stands for to be determined, to remain encouraged through all mishaps, believing in God.
Oh. You need to put that on the shirt. It's on the shirt?
Yeah.
I need to get that. Because look,
yeah.
Dream, I connect with the word dream. My favorite lyric of all time is Biggie Smalls, "It Was All a Dream." Mm-hmm. Because I just believe that everything starts as a dream. Mm-hmm. And we take steps to realize those dreams, mm-hmm. and they just become our life, but it was all a dream.
Yeah. It
all starts as a dream. And so, yeah, I love that. Yeah. I'm about to get a shirt.
Yeah. Dream big. You have to. Despite what you've been through, what has happened, you dream big. And it's people like you who are help to people to dream big. Like I told you, I love acronyms. And my acronym for help is having evidence the Lord is present. Mm. And it's evident that the Lord is present in you. The Lord is present in what you do. And he's using you as a vessel to bless others.
That's all it's about.
That's what it's about. That's what you got to do. And I really appreciate it because this is nice right here. This is real nice. Don't smell like roaches or nothing.
Well, that's a blessing.
That's that Tiffany Haddish, yeah, this
is
nice. This is nice. I am super, super proud of you. And I am just honored that you wanted me to come be a part of your podcast, and I'll come back anytime. As long as you got this right here. What this is, I don't know what this is. This nice.
It's Moscato d'Asti.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a big word. I can't even spell that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you have the bottle so you can take it with you.
This is nice. I like that right there. Yeah, we gonna come back for this right here. We ain't got time. We just sit here and just look at each other. And just this is nice.
That's so funny.
Well, maybe I bring my son with me. He can have him a glass.
She trying to get me hooked up.
She's beautiful, y'all. Look how beautiful this girl is. Just beautiful. And my son loves chocolate girls. Oh, he love them. He love them. Yes.
So I'm
be
flattered.
honored. I will be honored to be her mother-in-law.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
If I said I'm going into TV and film, the first movie I produce, you're gonna be in the movie.
Come on, let's do it. I'm ready because you know I do stage plays.
Yes, that's what I'm
I
saying.
love acting. Acting is just a part of me. To be honest, I like acting better than I do doing stand-up.
Comedy.
But really, doing stand-up is like acting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I am ready to get Charles Patterson. I am ready to be back on stage. Yeah. One of the best producers, writers in Chattanooga. I'm ready to do that. And I did some small snippets of, I got to be an extra in Greenleaf before.
Okay.
I was in season, I think, 3 and season like 6. You know, I got to sit in the church. I was in the background. You couldn't see my whole face. You see like half of my face like right here. But I was there.
Right. She was like, that's me.
Yeah, I was there. And then on the other one, you can see the back. You didn't see the front of me, but you can see the back of me. And I was in church just a rocking. But it was an experience. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that or whatever. But we may have to just come up with our own.
Listen, I'm telling you, I just received a grant. And so I'm going to be buying some video equipment that shoots like film quality. So that's my goal, is I have an idea for a scripted series, and then I have an idea for a scary movie.
Okay.
So,
well, we need to since you're doing that, we need to sit down. I need to tell you my story, my life, and maybe you can give you my. Yeah, we got to talk after this, girl. Talk. I got an idea. Okay. Do you hear me? Yeah, and you know my son is a photographer, and my other son, he's a.
She trying to get her children married out.
Yeah, no, but I'm trying to get them there. They know how to shoot the film stuff. They know how to do other.
Okay. So
we gotta work together. We work together. That's what we gotta do.
That's what we
gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, let's cheers one last time. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, until next time, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
For vibing with us on Brown Girls Can, the podcast. If you felt this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your girl gang. You can catch us on social media on Instagram at Brown Girls Can, the podcast, and on Facebook at Brown Girls Can. And remember, you are already everything you are becoming. So until next time, keep showing up, glowing up, and choosing you. Always remember that you can do anything.